to do, like going to summer cottages, or even just like going to swim at the lake with your friends, or walking around the street when it's, you know, midnight, but the sun is still on the horizon. It's...
Olá, pessoal! Bem-vindos a mais um vídeo nesse canal. Nós somos cidadãos do terceiro mundo e nesse canal nós reagimos ao primeiro mundo. Nesse vídeo a gente vai reagir a como me mudar para a Finlândia me mudou.
Então pedimos que, por favor, considere se inscrever, ative as notificações e deixe mais sugestões lá no nosso Instagram. E agora vamos para a reação.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It is your boy James here, and today I have a really interesting topic, and I think a lot of my Finnish viewers are going to find this super interesting. Today I want to talk about how living in Finland for 5 years has changed me and changed my life. Now this is going to be very interesting because for many Finnish people, they don't often see like foreigners from countries far, far away coming and living here. But I moved to Finland. I'm originally Australian, from Asia when I was 18 years old. So I grew up in Melbourne, Australia most of my life, and then lived around Asia when I became a teenager, and then I moved to Finland in the winter of 2018. Now moving to Finland was like a massive culture shock for me because before that I'd been living in Hong Kong, which if anyone knows anything about Hong Kong, it's a very, very busy, fast-paced city, and Hong Kong is a very, very small landmass with about 7 million people, if I remember correctly, living on that landmass. So it's an absolutely wild city, and it's very, very different to, well, what you see behind me here in Helsinki. So that basically brings us on to the first topic of how Finland has changed me. It has made me a lot more used to quietness. Now this is a really interesting one I want to kind of get into. So most of the countries I've lived in have always been very loud and busy. I mean, I lived in Singapore, I lived in Hong Kong, I was born in Melbourne, Australia, I lived in Macau. So I've always lived in cities that are really, really busy. And also culturally, they're very, very different. For example, Australian and Asian people, I think, are a lot more naturally outgoing.
Hi, I'm Jackson, and today I'm going to be teaching my Japanese buddy how to be Australian.
And I'm not trying to say that Finnish people are all quiet and everything. It's not like that. But I mean, culturally, people are just naturally a bit more out there and upfront. For example, if I go here, like down to the mall, or if I go to a bus stop in Finland, 99.9% chance no one's just going to come and talk to me for no reason. Like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Like, that so rarely happens. But I remember in Australia or in Asia, like, you'll always just end up talking to strangers, and strangers will end up talking to you. So you get very used to like that way of doing things. So being here.
Bom, a gente já... Não é a primeira vez que a gente ouve um comentário desse tipo, e a gente já conversou aqui que um nórdico vindo no nosso país ia achar realmente um pouco estranho, porque aqui todas as pessoas, muitas pessoas que você não conhece, elas simplesmente começam a falar com você. Uma vez a gente estava na rua, eu estava com a perna machucada e uma pessoa começou a querer orientar como cuidar da minha perna.
É verdade, eu fico impressionada porque as pessoas, elas criam uma intimidade com você, tipo, espontânea, sabe? Não tem nada, assim, de repente, simplesmente acontece. E realmente é muito estranho, isso é muito estranho. E ele fala assim, vai acontecer de você ir no ponto de ônibus, ninguém vai falar com você e tal. Mas a minha cabeça, assim, é o normal, ninguém falar. É estranho, é um estranho falar. Então eu não consigo entender, assim, eu vejo com super naturalidade a forma como eles se comportam lá, né?
Here, it was definitely a massive shock and took me a lot of time to get used to the fact that maybe people are just a little bit more quieter. And naturally it makes you then more quiet. It even got to the point where I felt like I was almost becoming a little bit antisocial. Not really. That's also like my responsibility and on me. I think I wasn't going outside too much. One reason, by the way, is the winter weather, which we're going to talk about later in this video. But yeah, that's one thing that has completely changed me. It's made me a lot more quiet and also a lot more capable of being with myself and my own time, which I think is a great thing, because many years ago I always like had to be seeing people and had to be doing things, and maybe there were things I was trying to distract myself from in life. But here I've gotten very used to just like being by myself and like dealing with the quietness and being like, okay. So that's a funny one. The next point it brings me on to is the weather. This is a funny one because I still don't think I'm actually used to it. So like I said, I've been living here in Finland now for 5 years. It's been a little on and off. Like technically I've been living here on paper the whole time, but I've been traveling a lot throughout that time. So I can't complain too much. I've spent a lot of winters away, but I've also had quite a few winters here. And the weather in winter, I just have not gotten used to. For me, the main problem is the darkness. I don't mind the cold so much, but it's just when it, like now the season we're in, it's getting dark really, really early already. I mean, I was born on the golden beaches of Southern Australia, so it's a little bit different to here when it's, you know, December and everything's grey and wet and cold and slushy and snowy. It's a crazy thing, and I don't know if I'll ever get used to that. It always is a shock when the winter comes for me. I start getting very tired and exhausted and feeling a little bit off always. That's also over the past few weeks how I've been feeling, just really like lethargic and off. Maybe that happens to other people. I'd be curious if any Finns are watching this. Does that also happen to you? But also, when we talk about weather, the summers here are the best in the world. I have not found a country that has a better summer than here in Finland. I think Finland has the most beautiful summer, and the summer experiences that people here like to do, like going to summer cottages, or even just like going to swim at the lake with your friends, or walking around the street when it's, you know, midnight but the sun is still on the horizon. It's the best thing in the world. So I absolutely love the summer. There is a trade-off. The summer is short, the winter is long. You know, you have to brace yourself that the winter is coming. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be...
O que eu ia comentar é que ele fala sobre o clima da Austrália. Eu não sei, eu posso estar falando algum equívoco, mas eu acho que o clima da Austrália é um pouco semelhante com o do Brasil. No sentido assim, de ter praias, né? Ser uma coisa mais quente. E acredito que essa percepção que ele tem seria algo aproximado de um brasileiro também, talvez até mais extremo, né, pra gente, mas realmente é uma coisa difícil de se adaptar, né, especialmente quando você tem esse contraste tão grande, tipo, você tem sol à noite, né, tipo, isso é uma coisa muito comum, né, já é uma coisa muito incomum, já é uma coisa incomum, imagine para quem não mora num país como esse, mas com certeza deve ser uma experiência maravilhosa.
E ele mostrou imagens da Austrália e realmente se aproxima muito, parece se aproximar com o que a gente tem aqui, né? Que é um país com muito sol. E ele estava comentando que é difícil ele se adaptar ao inverno finlandês. E como você disse, talvez nós brasileiros a gente tenha uma percepção parecida com ele ou talvez sofra até mais do que ele. Porque aqui em nosso país não há absolutamente nada parecido com isso. E a Finlândia tem um frio bem extremo.
Wondering about my Finnish language skills. Well, I guess the suomen kieli on tosi vaikea. Mä en tykkää puhua tää kieli, koska se kuulostaa tämä. It sounds like this, you know, se ei ole hyvä. Mutta mä ymmärrän kaikki. I have gotten to a point now where I understand basically all Finnish. So it's really cool if I like watch a show or if I hang out with some friends who want to talk Finnish with each other for some reason or meet a stranger on the street, I can understand Finnish like 90%. So that's really, really cool. And I definitely have learned way more about the language, but my speaking is just so bad. And I don't like speaking, and people always tell me, speak Finnish, speak Finnish. It's quite hard. The only person I'll let force me to speak Finnish is my mother, because she always likes when I speak Finnish. So that's one thing. For anyone watching this who's maybe a foreigner and is coming to Finland or whatever it is, the language is tricky and it will take some time to get used to.
Perkele, siihen et koske, saatana vie. Saatana.
I think from what I know, there are much easier languages in the world to learn than Finnish. Finnish is quite hard. My writing is also very, very bad. But it's just something I think it's worth getting used to and at least learning a bit if you come here. But when I first moved here, I had like no intention of really learning the language because if I'm honest, I did not think I would stay in Finland for so long. I thought I would come here, do the army and then go home. But then things changed and here I am. So we're here 5 years later, which is quite hilarious. So it's definitely worth learning the language if you're going to live here longer. If I knew I was going to be living here for 5 years, I definitely would have spent more time learning the Finnish language. But overall, I think Finland has changed me in some very good ways. There might be a few negatives, but you'll pick these up if you go anywhere in the world. Because if you go to a place which isn't familiar and it's a new culture and it's a new country, you're going to get things you like and things you don't like from the experience, and that's completely normal. If I can wrap it all up in a way that I can say it simply, I have definitely enjoyed my time here in Finland. There's things that are just hard for me, like I said earlier, so I do like to travel when winter comes around, if I have the luxury to do so, and I'm very grateful for that. But overall, it definitely is a great country, and you know, me being half Finnish, it's been nice to connect with this side of my heritage. You know, I grew up most of my life away from this country, so it's been nice to be able to like connect with that side of me and actually been able to spend real quality time here. So I think going forward, I'm still going to continue living in Finland. I'm not sure exactly what the future brings. Anyone who's been following me for a long time knows things can change very quickly for me. So you never know, I might be living in a new country tomorrow or the day after. But for now, for the foreseeable future, I see myself here in Finland. And as you guys know, I've gotten this apartment here in Helsinki. and I'm now living in Helsinki. But I wanted to make this video for two reasons. Number one, for the Finnish people who follow me, I'm sure they're interested about how my experience here in this country has been. But I also wanted to make it so that any foreigners who may be moving to Finland, whether it's for work or they're moving here because they want to, or whatever it is, can actually watch this video and maybe get a gauge kind of what to expect. Because it can be a very different country to move to if you're from somewhere that's completely opposite like I was. But overall, I think you'll have a great time. It might just take a bit of time to get adjusted to it. And I would recommend coming in summer and not coming in winter. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's been your boy James. If there's anything you want me to talk about, please do let me know in the comments because I'm looking forward to covering many, many topics. I have a lot to talk about. Have a great day. Love you all. Bye.
Realmente muito interessante, né? Vindo de alguém que parece ter vindo de um país que é um pouco semelhante com o nosso em termos de clima. Né, ele mencionou aqui a dificuldade em relação ao inverno, mas é muito curioso que ele foi para a Finlândia e descobriu coisas nele, como, por exemplo, ele não se imaginava ser uma pessoa mais introspectiva, né? E lá na Finlândia ele aprendeu com os finlandeses a ser mais introspectivo, a se olhar mais interiormente, né? No sentido de quando ele está sozinho e esse tipo de coisa. E esse tipo de experiência são coisas que realmente vale a pena, porque a gente acaba se adaptando e descobrindo coisas em nós que a gente não imaginava ter, mas só em estar em contato, por exemplo, com os finlandeses, ele acabou descobrindo um novo estilo de vida lá. E isso é uma experiência incrível.
É verdade, eu acho que a Finlândia e a cultura finlandesa é aquele tipo de coisa que quando você tem contato, é tipo um divisor de águas na sua vida, porque é um povo que tem uma cultura muito única e especial, e a forma como eles encaram a vida, como eles lidam, inclusive nesse aspecto que ele comentou sobre essa questão mais de reclusão, de aproveitar a sua própria companhia, isso é uma coisa que é muito difícil, né, hoje em dia, tipo, as pessoas estão sempre focadas em procurar distrações externas e não conseguem se concentrar às vezes na própria mente, né? Uma coisa que não deveria ser tão difícil, mas você vê que os finlandeses, olha as coisas que eles fazem, né? Tipo, só de saber disso eu já estou inspirada agora. Então, é como eu falo, né? Tipo, é um povo que só de estar em contato, tipo, só de estar em contato com vocês, a gente já aprende muitas coisas e melhora como pessoa, né? Isso é inegável. Mas essa foi a reação desse vídeo, então se você gostou, aproveita para se inscrever, ative as notificações e deixe mais sugestões lá no nosso Instagram.
Muito obrigado por assistir esse vídeo e a gente se vê na próxima reação.
Tchau!